That was for you, Dre. I went to church and said, this is for Dre.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, I'm so excited to chat with you. I'm so glad that I feel like more audiences can see the show now that it's on HBO Max. And also, you and your character are a part of this, this new season that everyone's been raving about. So I want to dive into, the show, your character, and of course, the season finale, which is coming up pretty soon, which is crazy. It's like it just like went so so quickly.
So quick.
So quick, so quick.
I was really excited for people to see episode 8 and 9 because I know that's when Tim's story really comes apart, and for it just came so fast. And and now we're at the end. It's crazy.
Now you did. So first off, I want to ask, of course, you are the first live action Tim Drake. How does that feel? Because it's never been done before on outside of the comics and animated, just being in a live action character. And also, what does this mean by you being a actor of color playing Tim Drake on top of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge thanks to Greg Walker that he can see such an iconic character and allow someone of color to play it. And for me as an actor, a self-tape comes through, and I didn't know that it was going to be Tim to start off with, but once I heard that it was Tim and it was Robin, and like the history behind it, and how much fans are passionate about it as well, caring about color. I was, I didn't really give it much notice, but I apart from that, with all the color, to play Robin is everything, because like I think back to when my dad would always buy action figures of Batman and Robin. I mean, literally it was like 2 weeks before that he bought this Batman and Robin action figure and a car, and I knew that I was like favorite for Robin. I was like, this can't be. But I mean, I realized when I started seeing tweets from fans, I always remember this one story of this guy that was at a Comic-Con or something. He was just doing cosplay in a Robin costume, and he was mixed race. And he just said, now I can wear this without being laughed at. And that's when it hit me that I was like, I'm doing something different. And from then it was like, okay, I must be an advocate now of just like, it's always who cares about color, but some people are passionate, and I understand that, but it just worked out the way it was, and all I can do now is just do the best I can, and hopefully fans like it.
Yeah, it's interesting to me too, because there are a lot of fans who, I guess, like, they're more interested in if the story's good, if the character's good, as opposed to the race of the character. But it's something about when you see the visual representation after going so many periods of time without seeing anyone that looks like you in the role, it clicks in there. It makes you want to, wow, this is how it actually feels. And then you wonder how people have felt for years to see people that look like them in certain roles. That's how it feels all the time. And I think that's kind of the difference, because it's normal for you, so it's just like, okay, that shouldn't matter. But when you haven't had that representation, it's like it opens up a whole new world.
So true, man. I mean, like, I didn't even notice until it came to this point. I mean, when I was a kid, when I was watching Disney and watching like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Lizzie McGuire, those were the leads that I was looking up to as a kid. And, they were all Caucasian. And I didn't really like, and then I would go into school and I would straighten my hair and I would want to change my name. And it's because we didn't have those role models in these roles.
Yeah.
But thank God it's now changing, and people are giving people of color an opportunity. And I'm just blessed to be in this place. And I got to say, apart from all those politics, like, everyone's been so lovely about Tim and my portrayal of him. And that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also glad you mentioned the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, because that's like the most iconic Disney Channel series.
Hey, it's nothing wrong with Zack and Cody, man.
That's literally,
Yeah, all that, man.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Cool.
So you kind of touched on this a little bit, but what was it like? Because I'm assuming like for most of these shows, whether like DC or Marvel or whatever, it's such a secretive process when you're like auditioning and stuff. It's like you didn't realize it was Tim. So can you explain the moment when you realized that was the character, and just the experience of just like you know filming the show and then waiting for it to be announced, and just like the anticipation building and that sort of thing?
Sure. So the whole process with the taping is that it's a dummy script, and it was a character of Danny. I mean, it came out on the internet that he was a streetwise kid and blah blah blah. And I went, cool. And I knew it was Titans. I think that I remember. If anything, it was a DC show, and I was like, okay, cool. And I auditioned for it, and it was a self-tape, so I hadn't met anyone. And then after that, it just it took probably about a month, and it took a while because of just the politics of COVID at the time. So there was like getting me into Canada and stuff. And then after that, I got the role. It was insane, and my manager at the time, when he called me to say I got it, he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're playing Tim Drake." And I went, huh? And then he went, he's Robin. I went, huh? And then from there, it was just like working out who Tim is and why he's different to the other Robins. And yeah. What was the second half of that question?
The experience of just like having been in the role and then waiting for the announcement to be made, even that you're playing the character and stuff. Like how
Well,
was
yeah,
that?
I was so I turned up in Canada. I was there for a month, and then I knew it was coming, and I didn't know when. And then I knew that the news had leaked uh on Facebook, I think, randomly. And then I think they just pulled the trigger by the end of the night, and then it was announced, and it was crazy. It was a bit surreal. I'd never had that much attention before. It was really exciting though. And yeah, it was really cool. I was actually talking to Damaris while the news was happening, and me and her just met, so we were talking on the phone, and like I love it. She's my sister, but I weren't listening. Like she's talking all the time about like Canada and stuff. And I was like, yeah. Like I was just like, cool. Hey, Damaris, I'm gonna have to go because my phone is pinging off. And then and then I just got into filming.
Yeah, and especially since people have gotten to know Tim and the character throughout the season so far. What has the fan reception been like? Because DC Comics fans are notable for being like very, very passionate about these properties, these characters, these series. So how has that fan reception been, and has it changed or evolved any as continue to be in the role?
They have been so incredible. I really mean that. I mean, my DMs and just the tweets and the fan reception. I'm so grateful that they've because I knew what I was getting into. Well, actually, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But what I did get myself into was just like a whole lot of love, and just like, people sending me the nicest messages, man. And yeah, it's actually been really nice. And like in terms of evolving, I think it's just been the exact same. They just want to see me kiss Superboy. That's really it.
Yeah, well, your character's been the kind of the talk of a lot of social media, especially given like Dean Kane's comments the other day, and now everyone's talking about representation too. So how is that aspect been, and how do you also personally feel about that being a potential storyline as
What, sexuality? 100. Look, I'm fully open to anything. I think that I've said it before that there's a community that like has a voice, and if we decide to go down that route, I'm all for it. I mean, and I want to tell it in a way that is respectful and makes sense, if anything. I don't want like something that is rushed, because that comes with nothing. I want something that is fulfilling and that the fans can cherish and that they can relate to.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like, the fans are passionate too, so I think that's why, you know, of course, I know so many people probably like have their opinions after every episode, like, oh, we want this to happen, and you're like, you're just like hoping,
always,
like, you know,
always.
You're like, we'll see we'll see how everything pans out. But what's been one of your favorite moments from this season so far? You know, you have so many good scenes with Brendan, you have so many good scenes with Connor Leslie. What's been some of your favorite moments in exploring Tim and the way he interacts with other people and other characters on the canvas?
I think it's the shift of, I think there's 7, 8, 9 where you see this kid that is very innocent and vulnerable and scared and new to a world that he thought he knew that he doesn't. And then you have this world that we're seeing now, which is 11 and 12 and soon to be 13, where he had to make a big decision within the Souls episode in 9. And that was, do I really want to be a hero? Am I not going to be a coward? And am I going to really push myself to be something bigger than I am? And then you get to 11 and 12, where, I mean, he's got the amazing Wonder Girl with him, and he's learning on the job, and he's now ready to be that hero that he wants to be.
Yeah, and also without giving away anything, what's something that you are personally excited for fans to see as the show wraps up this season?
I think everything will just come together. There's only one episode, and I think there's a villain that people are getting sick of, that the Titans need to sort out. And yeah, I think that's what it is. I think you're going to see a team that needs to unite again and finish off what they started.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. You know, I think that's the good thing about like every season of the show. It's just like everything comes together. I feel like sometimes it's a slow burn, but like everything just always comes together in those season finales. And I definitely think that this is going to be one that fans are going to be, you know, excited about. And just the fact that like Titans has such like an expansive ensemble, like everyone gets their chance to shine. And that's one thing I'm super excited about to see as the season wraps too.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all the questions I had for you. Again, congratulations
Thank you,
on your role this season and everything you're doing. And I can't wait for fans to check out this season finale.
Yeah, awesome, man.